This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem. Bruchim Abam. We're continuing in Mishnah Berurah Daf Hashvah. Today we begin Siman Ayin Daled. Siman Ayin Daled. Shaloi levarich kishe'ivarav rayim es ha'ervah. Not to make a bracha when your limbs could see your ervah. Which is a very interesting concept. When we talk about your limbs seeing your ervah, we're specifically talking about your heart. And it's an interesting concept. What do you mean your Devarim could see your ervah? Your Devarim don't have eyes. Your eyes could see, but could other limbs see? So there's a concept that Shlomo HaMelech says, "V'libi ra'a harbe chachma v'das." My heart saw a lot of wisdom and knowledge. So from here we see that there's an idea the heart could see. Therefore, not only if your eyes could see an ervah, but if there's no interposition between your heart and your ervah, so let's say, for example, somebody's wearing a robe without a belt, so there's no separation between the heart and the ervah, even though both are covered, one cannot say Devarim Shabbat. Okay, so it says in Mechaber, Hayayashin Araim B'Tali, somebody who's sleeping unclothed in his robe. Tzarch lachutz batalis alibay va'az yikra. You need to take the talis, sort of push it against your heart, creating a separation between your heart and your ervah, and then you could say Shema, Mishum delibay raya esa ervah aser. A heart seeing ervah is aser. Haga, v'adin im libay raya ervas chaverai aser. Let's say my eyes are not seeing the ervah of my friend, but my heart could see the ervah of my friend. What's the example? If let's say somebody turns around, he turns his head around, but let's say his chest is uncovered and his heart sees the ervah of his friend, that would be an issue. Now the question is one's heart seeing an ervah, is that a dairaisa also or drabban? We know that your eyes not seeing your ervah, that's a dairaisa, you can't daven. What about your heart? So let's see the Mishnah Berurah. Sivkatan Aleph. Hayayashin Yashin Araim. HaMechaber Tafas Lashon Hagemara. The Mechaber is using the language of the Gemara, the Sham Shayach Hailishna. Because there in the Gemara, this Lashon is appropriate, where someone's sleeping, Araim, he's bare in his talis. Al Binyanenu, when it comes to our subject, Hu Adin Kishahaya Yashin B'chalukai B'loy Mechnasayim. The same thing would be if somebody is in a long shirt without pants, Gam Kein Dina Hachi, it would have the same din. So it's not only if somebody, listen carefully, it's not only if somebody is sleeping bare in a cover, under a cover. It doesn't have to be that case. Even if you're not bare under the cover. Let's say you're wearing a robe, but the robe doesn't have a belt, or or a person's not wearing pants. It would have the same din. The asr b'divrei Torah, it's asr to learn, oy levarech shum bracha, or to make any bracha, ad sheyadbik biyadav, till you press with your hands, hakutaines, the shirt, b'makam halev, in the place of the heart, oy lamata milibay, or below the heart, kidei sheyei hefsek ben liba erva, so that there should be an interruption between the heart and the erva. Now, divrei Torah would be asur even if you don't say it b'lashon hakodesh. What about answering amen? Is answering amen Devarim Shabbat? The Ishal Avam of Buchach says no. Answering amen is no different than hear her b'divrei Torah, and that is permitted b'makayim erva. Now, oh wow. Okay, let's see a little bit more in the Mishnah Berurah. Sivkatan Beis, Tzarech Lachatz, Perush, Diyadbik HaTalis Aliba, you need to press the talis on your heart, Kedei Shei Hefsek Ben Libel Erva, so that there will be a hefsek between your heart and the Erva, Aval Balav Hachi Aser, but otherwise it would be Aser, Denehi Delibay Mechusa Batalis Sha'al Kol Gufay, because granted, your heart is covered with the talis that's on your body. So again, the guy is wearing a cloak. He's wearing he's covered in a blanket, or he's covered in a robe. So it's granted that your heart is covered. That's covered in a talis, covering your whole body. But the heart and the erva are still in the same realm, meaning there's no separation between the heart and the erva. Ve'ein davar beineim, and there's nothing separating between them. So what do you have to do? You have to be lachutz betalas al libai. V'hu adin im chaytzeitz betalas betalisa mitachas libai kedei shehefsek bein libai la erva. So it doesn't have to be you push the talis against the heart, but you could be chaytzeitz with your talis under the heart, so that there would be a hefsek between the heart and the erva. Vafilam libai megula lagamri, even if the heart is completely uncovered. Ukelakaman b'sivvav. Meaning like this. Let's say a person would take his cover and drape it around his waist and press the cover around his waist. Would that be good enough? Absolutely. Why? Number one, your eyes can't see your erva, and number two, your heart can't see your erva. So there's no din the heart has to be covered. There's no din for Devarim Shebekdusha the heart has to be covered. It's just that your eyes can't see the erva, and the heart, there has to be a separation, or the heart should not be able to see the erva. But there's no din that the heart has to be megula. Now, the real right way to do this is that there's a hakdama here that the Be'er Halacha gives from the Pri Megadim. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to read the hakdama for these halachas from the Be'er Halacha. It comes from the Pri Megadim, where basically the Be'er Halacha sets forth 5 major principles, and then he subdivides it. So let's see the Be'er Halacha here. Natik pai hahakdama mipri megadim l'siman ayin dalid v'ayin hey ki hu nitzrach ma'id. It's very needed. So if the Chavetz Chaim says we really need it, we got to listen. Aleph. So there are going to be 2 categories, Aleph and Beis. Aleph is divided into 5 parts. Aleph, da, ki hadin iser erva hamavar b'siman zeh b'siman ayin hey nechlek l'chamish chalakim kashe yizbar be'ezar Hashem yizbarach. It's divided into 5 parts. Number 1, einoi roya ervasai, your eye seeing the erva. Number 2, libai roya ervasai, kagan shu hoylech b'chaluk b'limach nasam v'li ezar. You're going with a blouse, you're going with a robe, without pants, without a belt. Or you're lying bare under a cover. You stick your head out, but your heart and your erva are under the same blanket. Number 3, giloi erva. Let's say you're walking around in your house totally unclothed, but you and your heart can't see either because you stick your head out the window. Now, you might be arrested, but that's not where, this is a halachic issue, not a legal issue. Even though you stick your head out of your house, so in other words, you can't see the erva, and you got yourself a heart coverer. It's a special kind of beged, a heart coverer. They sell keter, makes them. No, just joking. A heart coverer. There's no problem your eye sees or your heart sees. There's an isser of giloi erva. Number 4, Einoi roya ervas chaveroi. Your eye could see your friend's erva. Ve'ein chelik bein ervas Yisrael oy akum. There's no din erva. It's not a lamdas. It's not only a Jew has a holiest din erva. An erva is an erva. It doesn't matter if it's a Jew, a guy, but it has to be someone of age. A 9-year-old male, a 3-year-old girl, upshita meisha bein eshes bein pnuya, and a woman. It doesn't matter if she's married or not. Hey, libai roya ervas chaveroi. Fine. Those are the 5 categories. V'hinei be'ein of roya ervasai de ois aleph oy de ois dalid beroya ervas chaveroi asur menat Torah. Seeing the erva yourself, seeing your own erva or seeing your friend's erva, that's asur midoraisa. Dichsiv lo yira b'cha ervas davar. and therefore it's a problem. Likrois Kriya Shema, Oilasik V'Devei Torah, Udvar Kedusha, V'Imkein HaKoirei Kriya Shema. And therefore, if you read Kriya Shema, V'Roya Ervah, Oiver B'Lav Min HaTorah. Now, I'll just tell you off the bat, the Bir Halacha says over here, look, a katana 3 years old. So you know the Mishnah Berurah's opinion is that a girl over 3 years old, if her arms or knees are uncovered, it's an erva, you can't say Devarim Shebekdusha. That's the opinion of the Mishnah Berurah. It's a strict opinion. Again, I know we're talking about erva proper, but when it comes to a woman, a makoim mechusa has a din of an erva. Now, many achronim disagree with the Mishnah Berurah on that. I'm just pointing out it's something to be aware of. Okay. Vuhu adin kol davar shebekdusha. Now, her is mutter. So, in other words, if you're on a train, and there's a woman in front of you, it's the summer, she's not dressed properly. It's a problem. You can't daven. You can't say Berachas Hamazayin. You can't be Maver Sedra. You could learn, as long as you don't say the words. Dibur Asur, her mutter. Ela Shoymea Ka'ina. Okay, Avahir mutter. Ela Shoymea Ka'ina Asur be'erva to have a dibur. But Shoymea Ka'ina is going to be Asur. Okay. So now the question is, let's say I'm Maver Sedra on the train. When you come out, should we give you Malchus? No, we're not going to give you Malchus. By the way, we don't give Malchus anyway nowadays. But if we would, you would not get Malchus for that. Because it's a lav she'en by Maisa. But mikomag chayv Malchus mardis midavrayim. You're chayv Malchus mardis midrabanan. Upasal avarzel le'edus midrabanan. You're pasal edus. You can't be an aid at a wedding. Imagine the wedding's about to start, and the Masada Christians, Baruch, and a guy in the back, no! He takes the cane and he pulls the aid down. So the guy, what did he do wrong? He was Maver Sedra on the train. He's pasal edus. He brings his girl to shul, and her elbows are uncovered, and he davens. And for sure, if she's over a certain age. Let's say you're not sure. I'm not sure if there was an erva in front of me when I said Shema. You got to say it again. The safek da'araisa l'chumra. L'chein yachzar v'yikra misafek. Therefore, you need to repeat misafek. By the way, it applies with your own wife. You're just you and your wife. Now, the Chavetz Chaim talks about, what if your wife's hair is uncovered? Chavetz Chaim says, you could go up after 120, thinking at least I'll be rewarded for making Kiddush. And it turned out that your wife's hair was uncovered at the time of Kiddush. The Chavetz Chaim's psak is, not only were you not yotzei the mitzvah of Kiddush, but it was a sin. Now, there is a Aruch HaShulchan that when it comes to hair cover, there's a leniency that many rely on. But what if your wife's elbows are uncovered and you made Kiddush in front of her? It's a serious issue. That's why, okay, we'll hold it over here. It's important to know. Fine. Do you have to make the brachos? Yeshlamar detalye bezem noimer de halacha karava betmura the chol milsa de amrachmano loy savid iavid loy mahani have a suffix Torah b'kriya shema lochein yikra and berchaiseha. This would depend on the shita of Rava. Rava says there's a shaila. When the rabbis say don't do something, if I do it, did it work? So if it didn't work, then saying Shema would not have been effective, and therefore I have to say it again with the brachos. Masha'en kain, if the chiyuv to repeat is only midrabanan, then we could say sveika drabanan lakula. So it sounds like this, friends. When it comes to Shema itself, that's a dairaisa. A dairaisa, we say suffix dairaisa l'chumra, and you have to say it again. But the brachos are midrabanan. The rabbi said not to say brachos if it's royas ha'erva. I did it anyway. Is it mahani or is it loy mahani? So that's a question if it's a suffix d'oraisa or a suffix d'Rabbanan. Now, there's a difference if you see your own erva or your friend's erva. When it comes to your own erva, there are opinions that closing your eyes does not help. It's not going to help to turn around because you also have to turn around your body. If you turn your face and your body around, it will work. So in other words, if you're on a train and you want to be maver sedra, or you want to daven, it doesn't help to close your eyes. You know that? You're on a train. The lady in front of you is on the madrega of Adam Arisha and Kaidam Achet. Yeah? And how are you supposed to daven? So you say, I'll close my eyes. Closing your eyes doesn't help. You got to turn your body. Right? That's what the Be'er Halacha says. You got to turn. So the only way to daven is to turn your body around. Now, fine. Gam hefresh bein einov roya erva or giloy erva. There's a difference between you seeing your erva and your erva being uncovered. After tarva midaraisa, remember the case of the guy walking around completely bare, but he'll stick his head outside the window, so at least he's not roya es erva, but it's his erva is galoy. So mikamakam yesh chiluk beineim. De be'einov roya loy mahani kisoy amayim k'may erva ba'ashashis. If you could see your erva, it's not going to help to go into a swimming pool or water, because you could still see the erva. But regarding giloy erva, covering yourself in water helps. Beis. V'din libay roya erva shaloi oishal chaveroi ha'asor hurak midrabanan. Even though seeing an erva, whether yours or someone else's d'oraisa, libay roya erva is midrabanan. We'll see Gimel tomorrow, okay? We'll hold it here. We'll see Gimel tomorrow. Okay, Rabbi Sai, have a great day. Come, no good questions.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.